Recent advances in military technology, such as drones, have changed the battlefield for the United States and its allies. And another issue that's come up is facial recognition technology, which has been developed by a number of firms. But we're speaking today to Jim Gavrilis of Akagi, which is a Maryland-based firm that has developed some innovations in that field. Jim, could you tell us how does this work? I understand, is there a database that's on the unit that's mounted on, for example, a trooper's rifle, or is there some kind of a data link, for example?
This particular technology has the complete database portable. So basically, soldiers can carry it on their load-bearing vest. They can carry it on a small messenger bag. It can be on a vehicle. It can be in a house. It can be anywhere. And the great thing about it is it doesn't require any bandwidth to reach back to a database. So it's completely self-contained, and that has a lot of tactical applications and gives a lot of tactical flexibility.
Now, wouldn't you need quite a bit of data on there if you're checking the the facial coordinates of, well, how many people would you, for example, have as, let's say, targets for?
Well, you can put 1 million faces on this in the database that you're carrying around with you, and it will scan through every one of those faces in seconds. It's it's new technology. It's actually pretty powerful. It's pretty incredible, and it has a number of features too, because that you don't necessarily have to know all the bad guys. You can put in friend or foes, so you can check who are the friendlies. So just say you're at a base camp somewhere or a village stability operation house, and you have some of the locals come onto your base. You can make sure that that's who is actually supposed to be there. Instead of trying to check this person against 100,000 bad guy faces, you can just make sure that this is the right good guy that's supposed to be on your base.
So what is it measuring? What are the coordinates that it's actually measuring?
Well, it has algorithms that look at the face. I mean, I'm not going to go into the details of the algorithms and the specific technology, but it needs an image of the face, and it actually uses video, so it's taking video, which gives it a lot more accuracy, and you're much more likely to get the right recognition or an accurate recognition if a person moves left or right or up or down. They can get a certain degree, 15 degrees is what we say, up and down or left and right, but we've seen it actually perform better than that. And it has also a long-range capability too. I haven't seen in all the systems that I've used and seen before, I haven't seen anything that's out to about 500 meters, which what we're doing with this system here. And that kind of standoff is just incredibly useful for checkpoints. Suicide bombers or car bombers or checkpoints into bases are a major killer, major cause of wounds. And if you can get your recognition further out from the checkpoint from the actual soldiers performing at the checkpoint, then you can save some lives.
Has the U.S. military developed a need for this new technology?
Yes and no. There are requests for new biometric technology, and there are requests for improving biometric technology that we have, but specifically there isn't, as far as I know, a requirement that says do facial recognition at long distances or long ranges. So we're in the process of helping. We're in the process of encouraging the military to develop these specific requirements for this system.
Would this have an application to satellites and drones too?
You can. It has a wireless capability. I don't know the specific range of it. Satellites. Let me put it this way: you could hook this up to a satellite radio, but the system itself that we have right now is not hooked up that way. It is basically, I'll call it camera agnostic, power agnostic, display agnostic. So you can take this system, you can use it with a droid or a small handheld computer, you can use a laptop with it, you can use a desktop, you can use a large screen, anything you want to display and control the actual computer system. You can plug in a camcorder, a long range camera with a long zoom lens on it. You can plug in solar panels to power it. You can plug in a regular outlet in your house, and you can put batteries on it.
Can it be attached to say a gun sight?
Yes, absolutely. You can integrate it to a weapon sight so that we have several configurations. One of the configurations is a sniper spotter system, where the spotter for the sniper looks through a scope, and then he can recognize this person. And positive identification is one of the key things that soldiers on the battlefield must have in unconventional fights where you don't really know who the enemy is because they're not wearing uniform. You really have to. So to have a sniper with a spotter assistant next to him who can say, yes, I'm getting 98% accuracy that that this is the individual we're looking for, or the targeted individual.
How soon could this be deployed to the field so that soldiers would be able to use it, for example?
We have prototypes right now that can be used in the field. We're designing more prototypes so they're a little bit more sturdy, more rugged for field use, and we want to design a couple of more so that we can get them out there for field testing. That's really the first step, is to get a number of these pieces of equipment in the military's hands so they can really test them and say, okay, this is make one more adjustment to it, and then we'll buy a lot of them. But right now we do have systems that can be deployed, and like I said, just for checkpoint operations, I think it can save a lot of lives.
Well, thanks very much. We've been speaking to Jim Gavrilis, a former major in the United States Army Special Operations, who is now an executive with Akagi, a Maryland-based defense technology firm. I'm Martin Barrios for Sparrow News.